Hello math learners! In this video, we are going to learn about algebraic expressions. Now, what are algebraic expressions? Or what is an algebraic expression? An algebraic expression is a variable, a constant, or a combination of variables and constants related by at least one operation. Or these are numerical expressions containing variables. Some examples of algebraic expressions are x, -3, xy, -4b squared, 2m/3n exponent 4, 2x plus 3y, and quantity x minus 3y cubed. Now, let's proceed to the different terms or words that are commonly used in algebra. We have here the algebraic terms. Our first algebraic term is constant. What is a constant? A constant is a number or symbol whose value is fixed. It is a term without a variable. These are some examples of constants. We have -5, 1, 10, and -12. Always remember that constants are just any number that has no variables or letters beside it. Alright, now let's proceed to our second algebraic term, which is variable. A variable is a letter or symbol which represents any number. These are some examples of variables: A, Q, V, T, or variables are just any letter in the alphabet. Okay, next we have coefficient. Coefficient is a numerical and literal factor of a term. There are two kinds of coefficients. The first one is the numerical coefficient, which means the numerical factor in an algebraic term. And the second is the literal coefficient, which means the literal factor in an algebraic term. To understand better these two kinds of coefficients, let's have example. We have 3x. 3x is an algebraic expression. Now, let's determine the numerical coefficient and the literal coefficient. In this algebraic expression, the numerical coefficient is 3, while the literal coefficient is x. So this is the difference between numerical and literal coefficient. Now, let's proceed to another algebraic term, which is exponential expression. Exponential expression comes from the word exponent. It is a way of expressing repeated multiplication, where the base will be multiplied to itself with the number of exponent. Example: we have the exponential expression a to the exponent of n. In this example, a is our base and n is our exponent. So these are the basic parts of the exponential expression. Always remember base, exponent. Now we have the term. Term is any algebraic expression separated from another algebraic expression by a plus or minus sign. Example, 2a plus b. In this example, we have two terms. Our first term is 2a and our second term is b. As you can see, this expression has two terms which is separated by a plus sign. Okay, now let's have examples. Let's identify the variables, the numerical coefficients, the literal coefficients, and constants in the given expressions. Let's have the table. We have example number 1, negative x. In this expression, the variable used is x. Again, always remember, variable is just a letter or a symbol which represents another number or a known value. So we have x as the variable or letter used. Next is the numerical coefficient. We all know that numerical coefficient is just the numerical factor of the given algebraic term. As you can see in the given expression, there is no numerical factor of the term. We cannot see number beside x. But if this is the case, it is understood that there is 1 as its numerical coefficient. So, we have now the negative 1x. Now, let's determine its numerical coefficient. We have the number negative 1. Do not forget the negative sign. Next is the literal coefficient. Literal coefficient is just the literal factor of the term. And as you can see, we have x. Now, let's have number 2. We have 2v cubed. The variable used in number 2 is v. The numerical coefficient, which is the numerical factor, is 2. The literal coefficient is v cubed. Do not forget the exponent of the literal coefficient. Now, let's have the third example. Negative 4ac. The variables used are a and c. We have two variables. Numerical coefficient is negative 4. The literal coefficient is ac. Next, number 4. We have n over 6. The variable used is letter n. The numerical coefficient. Okay, to find the numerical coefficient, again, this is the numerical factor of the term. As you can see, we have n over 6. And again, we all know that there is 1 beside n. It is already understood that when a literal coefficient has no number beside it, it is understood that there is 1 as its numerical coefficient. So if we are going to rewrite n over 6, this is just equal to 1n over 6. So that means our numerical coefficient is this one, 1 over 6. Our literal coefficient is n. Now let's proceed to our fifth example, 2a plus 3b. The variables used in this expression are a, we have a and b. The numerical coefficients, we have two numerical coefficients. The numerical coefficient of the first term, which is 2, and the numerical coefficient or the numerical factor of the second term, which is 3. Now let's have the literal coefficient. These are the literal factor of each term. So we have, for the first term, we have A, and for the next term, we have B. That's it. Now, let's proceed to our second example, which is to identify the base, exponent, and expanded form in each given expression. We have, first example, 3 squared. The base is 3. The exponent is 2. Now, for the expanded form, this expression 3 squared means we need to multiply 3 to itself, or we need to have 2 3's. So this will be 3 times 3. Next, y exponent 5. The base is y, the exponent is 5, and this means we have 5 y's. So that means y times y times y times y. Now let's have 3m exponent 4. In this expression, we have only this as our exponential expression. So that means our base is m, our exponent is 4, and the expanded form is, first we need to copy 3, and then the expanded form of m exponent 4, which is 4m's, m times m times m times m. And for the last is, we have 2b cubed. As you can see, 2b are in the parentheses, and it was raised to the exponent of 3, so that means our base is 2b. Our exponent is 3, and this expression means 3 2b's. So this will be 2b times 2b times 2b. Now let's have example number 3, which is to identify the number of terms and constants in each algebraic expression. So we have our first expression, 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. In this expression, we have 3 terms. We have the first term, 3x squared. The second term is negative 4x. And the last term, which is positive 1. Now let's identify the constant. We all know that constants are just a term which has a fixed value. That means it is any number that has no variable beside it. And as you can see, we have 1. For the second expression, we have y exponent 5 minus 5. This expression has 2 terms, and the constant is negative 5. Do not forget the sign before the number. Next is 3m exponent 4. This has only 1 term, and there is no constant, so we will just write 0. Last is 2b cubed plus 5x plus 2m plus n. This has 4 terms and there is no constant, so we will write 0. Thank you for watching this video, and again, always remember to learn mathematics, do mathematics.